Hello, welcome to the stream. How's it going, everyone? Had a little bit of a haircut last night, so my hair's a bit shorter than it was yesterday. just a little bit. Back to WoW. I don't know why I sighed, but I did. We played a bit yesterday. We got to level 55. I didn't really feel like we leveled very much yesterday. It probably took an hour to get anything done. There were just level 60s all over the place. It sucked. So I'm hoping today is a little bit different.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, let me actually get out here and quest and kill things and not have to worry about a bunch of level 60s in my way. kinda the hope. I don't know about 56 happening, but we'll do our best. We're gonna start by heading this way. Go grab the other Timbermore quest. There is another Timbermore quest. There is. Do some Yetis, some chill wind on the way, and then see where we end up. After winter spring, probably start some Silphus. I never really liked Silphus on the rogue because you get poisoned every single mob and it sucks. But something we've got to do. And we can probably finish off Western Plaguelands a bit. Head into Eastern. Hopefully we're like 56 by the time we get back to the Plaguelands. That would feel great.
What's on your mind? What's
Just
your
a
back?
quest, mate. Hopefully
Safe
not that one.
travels. Off with you. See you soon.
Not gonna do it yet.
Off with you.
Hopefully this one is doable. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Still looking for that Kroll Blade. Or an epic in general. Maybe one day. Would be nice. Potions rolling. Use the Mongoose elixir for the first time ever. On this character at least. I might as well pop giants. More damage. I think when we get to the Furbolgs, I will use the Winterfell Firewater. Because we have a chance of getting more Winterfell Firewater from them. Oh, don't want him. He puts rabies on me from afar. Do not want. Get away from us, Albeast. Leave me alone. Stalker. I gotta say, after being a Night Elf rogue and, you know, being able to sneak right up to people's faces and not be taken our stealth, it is kind of rough being a human. Like, as soon as they smell me, I come out of stealth pretty much on the human. But the Night Elf was always like, I'm just going to walk right up to you and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, I would literally have my hand in their pocket and they still don't know I'm there as a Night Elf. It's so different. I don't like it. I like being invisible. Nice. Alright, are the elementals here? I do not see them. So I'm guessing not. Means we can do this quest. I always love fighting these mobs on the rogue or the warrior because they don't have any armor. Especially on the warrior because it's under them anyway. Even without armor. Now my question is, if I use this and go in stealth, will the mob still know I'm there? Let's find out. Yep. They sure will. I'm gonna blade flurry here because I wasn't full health. Not like these mobs do 0 damage. Especially with Curse of Agony ticking. But being able to do this quest is awesome. It's gonna put a bunch of stuff in our inventory, which isn't so awesome. But that's okay. I guess. If it has to be. We'll probably... I was gonna say we'll probably just throw it in the bank, but... This character is probably the one character that does not have bank space. Just be throwing things in. Lena is very inventory starved. Like my character in Guild Wars 1. Because I'm doing... there's a thing called Melandru's Accord, which is basically... You have your inventory slots. And that's it. You can't use the bank or anything like that. So that's pretty much where this character is right now. Because I don't have any bank. We might need to get another bank slot. Just because of this quest. I guess there's still a point going into stealth just in case. Might be able to catch one. Yeah, it's my first time playing Guild Wars 1 and I'm already doing that. Because I'm like, why not make it more of a challenge? That's the reason I wanted to go into stealth. Because you can still get a nice cheap shot. Got kinda unlucky there though. Two attacks that would have killed both the mobs back to back miss. Like, So we took about 600 extra damage that we wouldn't have otherwise. We will get to 18% crit because our swords are not yet maxed this level. That's pretty awesome. Is that a chest? May have been a chest. I have to look closer. No. I was seeing things. Okay. There was no chest there. Probably means there's a chest somewhere. A dead person. I wonder if they were out here fighting and the elemental spawned. That could happen. It would not feel great, but it could happen. Because honestly, these ghosts aren't really that much of a problem. The thought of dying to them doesn't even like come up in my mind. They can do a lot of damage sometimes, but you know, as long as you got potion or stuff, pretty safe. Did want to switch to that so I could interrupt it, but I did not interrupt it. That awkward situation where you haven't killed any of your mobs and Blade Flurry falls off. How it goes sometimes. We're at least gonna have 2 bags to have items. Better than 1. Pretty much how the hunter felt. Because, you know, we're using some of our bag space for bullets. Once again, rock up, expecting the mob not to see you, but you're not a night elf. I think we'll wait 30 seconds for Blade Flurry, so we'll just go kill another mob. More experience. Bonk. That was kind of lucky. I wish more games had what Final Fantasy XIV has when a mob spawns and you can just be holding tab and it will immediately target that mob. I'm really surprised after playing 14 that WoW doesn't have that. Like, it's so useful. You just hold the tab button and as soon as a mob is targetable, you can target it. You don't need to be spamming your button, stuff like that. You know, anyone who's played, especially classic World of Warcraft, but just WoW in general, knows that sometimes you're just waiting for a mob to respawn. And there's also, like, you know, another 100 people standing around waiting for that mob to respawn. Got the beer as well. I knew I would, but try. Level 57, I'm okay to not. But when you got 100 people waiting for a mob to respawn, right? Everyone's just spamming the shit out of their buttons. Imagine you could just hold tab. Gives you that little bit faster reaction time. It's even 100 XP. That's pretty good. Alright, we got one quest done, but like I said, that one's not really going to matter until we go to Eastern Plaguelands, so we'll just put it on the back burner for now. If we're 56 before we go back to the Plaguelands, this character should be pretty good to go through Anderhole, which is going to give us a bunch more experience that, you know, the other characters have had. Since we're a rogue, Anderhole's pretty free. Not completely, we're still got to go into the inn and talk to Chromie. And there are still elites rolling around, but it's relatively free. But I'm kind of hoping we're at least 100,000 experience before we leave Winterspring. I don't know if we will be. It'd be a great thing if we were. I'm hoping I can get the quest drop from the furbolgs, which I generally do, so I don't think we need to hope too hard. Because the rogue is pretty safe to be able to do that. We can just evasion and grab the thing and then vanish. Generally that works pretty well. Maybe even a sap if we want to. So there's one less mob. We just want to keep enough energy against these guys to kick, because I do not want to be poisoned. We're going to be dealing with poison and Silphus enough. I don't want to have to deal with it here. Like here we can just take it chill. No poison. Silphus, yeah, every mob. Is there a chest over here? No. Interesting. We didn't even get a chest in Ajara yesterday. Like, we basically went to Ajara, did nothing, left. Because I went there to try and do the level 50 rogue quest, but there were no mobs, and I didn't really want to bother respawning them. If there were a few mobs at least, so I could, you know, pickpocket and kill some. Maybe be like a few things into what we're doing. Then I probably would have stayed, but because there were 0 mobs, and I needed to kill a bunch to respawn, I was just, nah, not doing it. Cannot be bothered. Thinking we'd have to kill the bear and the yeti, but like we just get the yeti. Still gotta watch the bear, he does run around places. Our rogue is blasting, but I kind of expected it to be blasting harder, I'm gonna be honest. I guess Phantom Blade has dropped off a little bit though. You know, it's only a level 44 weapon. It's really good in the 40s. As soon as we crafted it, it was absolutely amazing. Like we were killing mobs so fast. Back there. Overlook. After we kill this. But I mean, we've had some upgrades. But they're not absolutely ridiculous. We are finding some pretty good maces. I mean, we might have to go back to mace speak at some. I think I have a mace, which is maybe like 6 top end off Phantom Blade. That would be a good offhand, but kinda don't really want to lose sword speed here because it does do a lot of damage. If we found like a mace of McGowan or whatever that one is, maybe. Like that would probably be worth equivalent. Why someone's out here killing? Looks like Lena's not having much luck with the Chillwind horns. Some characters don't. That guy is going so far. Like he started down here. he's just like, I'm going up here. See you later. I distract the beer so I can grab the Chillwind and then the bastard flies down there. That's annoying. Okay, he didn't aggro. It looked like he aggroed for a moment. Like these mobs do social link if they need to. Beers and chill winds are friends, apparently. Not this day. On this day, beers and chill winds were not friends. They fought one another and killed one another. Do get new eviscerate next level, I'm looking forward to that. Generally we're free pointing, which is going to be an extra 160 odd damage. Could see eviscerates over 1,000 finally. I think we've had one, but generally it's like 998 or something. It's close. I'm just pulling out all the stuns. Got a couple chill winds up here. This gets us no beer. Nice. They started dropping and now they're dropping. We'll see how it continues. I mean, even Questy says they're only got a 20% drop rate. I would kind of believe that. It's an awkward place to fight. As far as I know, they don't have a knockback. It would be scary. I think I'd get a jump scare if I just got knocked back from a mob that doesn't have one. Like, imagine this game played like Diablo or Path of Exile, and mobs had random abilities, and you'd just start fighting a mob, and you'd just get punted. Like, that would kind of be scary. That would make hardcore actually really challenging. If mobs just had random abilities. Too bad you can't make the Blizzard servers something they're not. I know there's a guy that does like a challenge where he's leveling and he's randomized the entire world, but that's more like an emulated server than a actual server, you know? I haven't watched any of his videos recently though. I guess they fell out of my algorithm, which happens with WoW videos a lot. Like, even when you have a person subscribe to your channel, sometimes people are like, oh, your videos don't show up. That's YouTube. I'm gonna go grab the Winterfall activity quest. Get started on then hopefully on the way back to Everlook we get the Chillwind Horns. The Yeti first should be done, I would say. We're already at 6. Generally has a higher rate. Nice. I always love when I throw a distract and it's kind of a blind distract if I'm jumping or turning the camera and then I miss completely. It always feels great. I had to shave yesterday, obviously, but I forgot to do the little bit of my moustache that comes down and tickles your mouth. Do that later. So it's always annoying. Guess we'll go check this chest over here. Check every chest, because every chest may have a crow blade. Or no chest will have a crow blade. But that's already what we're having, so... like, it's not much of a change. A third horn. Chest. There's no chest anywhere. Just like yesterday in Azara. I think like yesterday in Azara though there was a level 60 warlock running around where we were looking for them, so he was probably taking them all. Today, they just don't exist. Just because you poison me once doesn't mean you get to do it straight away again. Don't be greedy. Don't be a greedy bastard. I like making the Yetis blue because they look really cold. Which is how they would be, I think. Like, they're personally not cold because they do the ice stuff, but... like, if you touched one, you'd probably be cold. Even though they're furry... big animals. Whatever Yetis are, humanoids, mammals, I don't know. Are Yetis mammals? That's a debate. They would probably be cold if you touched them. I'm going to assume. Especially if they decided, well, I'm gonna turn this person into an ice block. Then they would be cold. 100%. Hopefully there's not too many people down here. Generally there are people. But flying through this quest would be helpful. We just need the other quest to drop. Not the totem, the fire water. Oh, there is definitely at least one per. I'm pretty sure this orc hunter was here last time I was here. I report them for farming. I haven't had to report any bots recently. We did report a lot of bots during the Medley, and sometimes even, you know, we got a response from Blizzard saying, thank you. Yada yada. An automated response, obviously, but still a response. But I haven't really seen anyone that I feel like is a bot. I assume most of the bots went to TBC Classic. You can make more money there. People have more gold. It's always such a funny thing, like, a lot of classic players don't like gold sellers and bots and all that. But then also a lot of classic players buy gold. And the only reason there are people selling gold is because there are people buying gold. So you can literally fix the problem just by, like, not buying gold. There's a chest. This guy is probably a bot, though, because he just... Hunter's marked the mob I'm fighting. Maybe I'm a bot. I wanted that totemic so many, I didn't even think about this guy. Maybe he's not. Don't know. Interesting. Can't take this chest without egg growing. Pretty rude though. Like right in front of me? Can't have been anything good in it. I wouldn't be able to get that chest without egg growing. Because I'm low level, the mob would be like No. Alright, that... I don't know if you saw that, but he definitely... Hunter's marked a totem right there. That is definitely a bot. Ain't no real person Hunter's marking a fucking totem. Like... It's interesting though, because it's like jumping around and doing things that look real, but yeah, Hunter's mark a totem. Tried stealth. Forgot I hit Fairy Fire. It's okay. Sadly, I don't think we'll get rid of the bot today, but... If you're a real person and you Hunter's mark totems, I am sorry. Stop doing it. Gonna get big. This quest might take a little bit longer than it usually does then. But I mean, we've had competition here the last few times. Not anything new. We're a big human. It's a ritual totem, which I don't really care for that much. I'd rather the actual, like the firewater quest. If that person isn't a bot, I would be shocked by the way they're playing. Maybe they're just a really lazy hunter. Like, I have an attack macro on my hunter's mark, but my pet is also set on defensive generally. Because it can be. So I refuse to believe that someone would Hunter's mark a totem. Plus they stole my chest, which is already like pretty bad. God, this horse is huge! It's something you can actually do in Guild Wars. It happened in Guild Wars 2 as well. Like, you could choose the size of your character, right? So sometimes when I'm running around, I will see another human, because there are only humans in Guild Wars 1 anyway, as far as I know. But I will see a human that's like really tall, standing beside me, who was kind of middling size I chose. I didn't want to be massive, I didn't want to be short. Somewhere in the middle. But it's so funny when you're standing right next to someone who's just like a giant. One thing I'm loving though is like exploring the world, because there are areas that I have already been to in Guild Wars 2 and I'm like, hey, I know where this is. Even if it's like named something different. That's pretty cool. Wait for mobs to... We're not killing that fast. Like, sure, there's 2 of us, but... Can't. We'll probably stay here until the firewater quest drops, so if we don't get it while we're killing. So hopefully it does. We do need reap with these guys eventually, right? Ask and you shall see. I love Adrenaline Rush, it gives so much energy. Like, you know, you're going hard and then you still got full energy. Ah, thank you. But I actually swapped from sword spec to axe spec on Guild Wars last night. Axe spec is pretty much what I always used on Warrior and Guild Wars 2. It seems pretty much the same in Guild Wars 1, like axe just does so much more damage. But apparently Warrior Monk, which is what I'm playing, because there's not that many choices when you first start the game, is a meme. So I'm gonna do my best to make sure I do all the content on Warrior Monk. I guess it's a bit of a noob track class in Beat, because you're probably drawn to Warrior Monk more than anything else. Like, you want to be like a paladin, right? Whenever I start a new MMO, I always gravitate towards the paladin class. But also, when you're not playing the expansions first, there is a better class to be like a paladin, but I'm playing the base game. So I'll experience the base game and then I'll worry about everything else later. Mr. Totemic. Nice. Hoping we get a prop game. guy is doing the quest. No one shall be verified. What do I need? 2D watch. Sadly, there were no D watch. Got all his pathfinder. Wish I had a crow blade. Of course, a totemic, but I'm sure a Dean Watcher might. That man had a crow blade though. Jealous. Crow blade and Crusader enchant. Obviously, I'm not having enchants, but yeah, crow blade would be cool. Oh, this Dean Watch is so resilient. He really didn't want to die. I think, yeah, Donovan for both. Nice. Glad one Dean Watcher spawned there though, because totemics. There was like 6 totemic spawns that round. Man, we're so tall, I'm almost as tall as the Yeti. That's crazy. I like the Winterfall Firewater. I always liked popping it on my Tauren, even though it, like, gives melee attack power. So... makes you huge. Best Rogue Streamer in 2026? I don't know about that. Maybe only Rogue Streamer in 2026. Blizzard made them all quit.
How are you? Off with you. Watch your back. Keep your feet on the ground. Be good. Watch your back.
Alright. We should be able to do that. Like I said, we can set one. Run in there, press evasion, grab the thing, vanish. Probably. Then when we get back to Winter Spring, the guy will be like, oh, you need runners now? He'll come upon us and we will have killed the runners. He's like, I need those still. I just need them there. I'm not going to use sprint through the tunnel because I might need it. I got one charge of poison. Pretty good. I guess when we're done with Winter Spring, I should probably go and make more poisons before going down to Silifus. But it is looking like we're going to be over 100k experience for full Winter Spring, so that's good. How many times have I played Rogue in Twin? 10 levels-ish? We don't really need to send the poison just yet, though. I love the big horse. It's ridiculous. But horses are actually massive. You know, there's some horses that weigh almost like 2 tons. So this is a realistic horse. Our other horse was just small. And if someone's cleared up here, even easier. See. Plague Bloom. Like that. They have not cleared up here. That's alright. I guess we'll sap the shaman. Right. Easy. Job done. Don't even need to vanish. Thinking we'd probably need vanish, but yeah. Whatever. Sprint away. Don't even need to use anything. I've used a few vanishes on this character though. We're down 3 vanish powder or flash powder. I don't know how many I've been through overall, because it's pretty easy to get back, you know. Lario. He's got all the buffs in the world. But I don't think my journey to 60 on this rogue has been as safe as it was on my very first hardcore rogue. Very first hardcore character. Maybe it's because, you know, we already hit 60 on a rogue, so I've made it troubling at times on this character. But also we haven't had the gear from dungeons. Like, having Fresh Blade right now would have given us so much more damage than Phantom Blade. Why, before we do High Chief Winterfall this time, I'm definitely getting to 58. 57 was borderline last time. I think 57 would be a death this time. Although I'm a lot more prepared. Like, I know he frost shocks. So we're going to make some frost resistant. Or some frost protection pot. That will cover like 2 or 3 frost shocks, maybe even 4 if we get lucky. But I'd say next week is going to be pretty fun. Because I'm hoping that I can get to 60 next week. Really depends on everything. Like, I don't know about Monday happening because the Monaco Grand Prix is on. And usually it's one of the most boring races ever, but Ferrari have a chance to win. Which has given me some, like, might be the most boring race ever. But if Charles can win Monaco again, like his home Grand Prix, that'd be sick. Like, I don't even remember what happened in 2024. I just remember that he won.
Welcome. Off with you. Be good.
I think the race had like 1 pass total. It was terrible. But he won the race, so it was worth it. It was like 78 laps of pure worry that something might go wrong with his car or he might crash or something. It's just like, please don't do this to us. Guess we'll wait. But go do the toxic horrors because they can't be poisoned. We do not have poison on, so might as well do it while we don't have poison. As long as it's not a level 60 mage, see? Farming away. Okay. Guess we can sprint through the tunnel now because we don't need it anymore. Levels Francie 54. I was wondering if we had done Winterfall runners on Francie, but I don't think we are at the level where we would have done it yet. I think only Rocket, Rugen, and Frand have. Maybe Balmer. I'm not 100% sure. Garland will never. Every character in the medley that is alive right now is over 5 days, apart from Alia, who is still under 4 days. That's pretty crazy. Like, there's a whole day spread between Elliot and the rest of the team. Binjo. Binjo over. That's why his name's Binjo, right? So he can make Binjo over jokes, like, obviously. Babe Hunter. Dwarf, right? I think I've seen them before. I think they're a dwarf enjoyer, so they are the babe that they are hunting, I think. Because all the characters have like rolled into one now, and I don't remember like when I see certain people. Like back when I was maybe level 30, around then, you'd always see people and you'd be like, oh, I saw them on this certain character. But now it's all just one big scrambled egg, so I see people that I've seen before, and I'm not even sure when. Like, did I see them on my rogue, or did I see them on a character previous? I have no fucking idea. Alright, toxic hotties. And be an annoying mob to deal with. Poisons and such. But we did the escort yesterday for them, so... Yeah, this one's not too bad because it's every 10 seconds. The every 5-second ones that are annoying, because then you can't really go back into stealth. You gotta time it really carefully. Nice little mini game when you're poisoned, and the poison's ticking every like 5 seconds. Maybe every 3 seconds if you're unlucky. Now we got one. And that one stacks. Thanks, and we didn't get a drop. Unlucky. Worst thing about it is they tick in close enough to each other where stealthing is basically impossible. Pretty good. Did not get re-poisoned. Did get an decent. I'll take it. Yeah. I was hoping he'd cast Deadly Poison first so I could interrupt it and not have to worry about being poisoned. But alas. Done with the quest though. Works out, I guess. That wasn't too bad. Just usual poison shenanigans on a rogue. I am kind of thinking about doing the Douse in the Flames of Protection. I would like to do it, you know, while I go in there and get the key. But at the same point, there is a quest to go and kill, like, the Warlock and stuff in there. After the dousing. So we'll see. We need enough quests to go from 58 to 60 anyway, right? So I guess we can do both at 58. We've also got Shadow Protection potions ready for Prey. I don't know if we have better ones though, we might. No, it seems like that's the best one we have. So that will probably save us from a few shadow spells, I guess. Not a huge amount though. But I'm kind of keeping my roids, assay and lung juice for that final push against the mobs. Alright, we are going to be on the runners after we hand in this. I don't know if that warrior did them. Could message him and ask, but... I also don't really. Like, you know... Last time I killed the runners on a rogue, I got 2 mithril lockboxes. Pretty awesome. I think our lockpicking is pretty much as high as it needs to be for opening things. We'll see. See if I even kill all 3 of them on this character. It's been a while. I don't know like how our gear and level compares to the last time I did them on a rogue. It is if we find them. It's always nice when you find them while you're running back to Donovan, because then you don't need to search. Otherwise, you run down this road and hope that you see them, otherwise you're going back. Sometimes it takes a bit. Doesn't look like we're getting lucky today, so. We will be on search.
Hi. Be good.
Aye.
Watch your back. Off with you. Keep your feet on the ground.
Alright. Run down the road, see if we can find them. I'll probably pot up before we fight them, and we didn't actually get a firewater drop from the furballs, sucks. We do have a few extras in the bank though, I'm pretty sure. And then if we kill them, we kill them. If we don't, we'll keep searching. We'll not really worry about it, but definitely finish off the Yetis and the Chillwinds momentarily. I love running through Winter Spring though. Listen to the sound of the horse, right? When you're running through the snow compared to when you're running on the road. That's good sound design. These little things are the reason World of Warcraft is the giant that it is, honestly. Like, it's a good game. Definitely better in some ways, in some expansions than it has been, but sound design, graphic quality, all that sort of stuff, like, even though some people were like, these graphics are for children. These graphics work so well for World of Warcraft. It's like when I start up Warcraft 3 and I'm running around with the old school graphics because the Reforged graphics look so weird, right? I find it the same in retail. Wow, when I see like an orc in retail and they're not classic orcs, I'm like, ugh. It looks weird. Alright, well, the Winterfell runners are not brown, so we don't worry about that right now. Like, I don't have nostalgia in Guild Wars 1. Obviously, like I said, I played it for like 10 minutes total back in 2005 when it came out, but World of Warcraft was like the game I was playing back then. So I basically made a character, ran around for a bit, and then I was like, alright, I got WoW Raid now. So I never have nostalgia about that game, but I'm liking playing it because I have nostalgia from Guild Wars 2 that translates to that game because the music in certain areas is the same music. And there's obviously things that I've seen, like places that I've been. And that game, even though it's reforged, like, you know, they updated the graphics, it still looks dated. But it has a little charm to it. Similar to Warhammer Online. I've been playing that. The graphics are dated, because obviously they are. But they're not absolutely horrible. There's charm to it. I've never been someone who's like, I need the top graphics to have fun in a video game. Like, a game can look like ass. And if it's a good game to play, I'll play it. I'm glad that can happen because especially as other video games with graphics in mind get like so much better graphics, like say Cyberpunk, which I recently played through. It doesn't look completely real, Like, there are obvious things the player, or the character models, I guess, you can tell are not real. Like, they don't look like real people. But when you're driving around in, like, first-person view and stuff, it feels like you're driving in real life a little bit. But it feels too close to reality for me to be like, I can have fun here, because it feels like I'm living in the world rather than being a part of it. Which I guess maybe equal the same thing, but in different ways. When I play a video game, I don't want to feel like I'm playing real life. Is kind of what I'm saying. Cyberpunk feels way too close to reality to be a video game that I'm like, I could play this many hours. Like another CD Projekt game, Witcher 3. I can play that. Even though the graphics are incredible, especially for when it came out. Because it's not a place that I am living, like, you know, it's the Middle Ages. I haven't, as far as I know, lived in the Middle Ages. But Cyberpunk is just so close to us in time scale that it kind of weirds me out a little bit. Like, this could be our life in 50 years, definitely. Yeah, I'm glad I don't need to be captivated by graphics. I feel like if you can only play a video game if the graphics are good, you're missing out on so much. Like when my friends logged into Warhammer Online for the first time, and one of them was immediately like, this game looks like shit. Like, well, obviously, it's from 2008. What do you expect? Did you expect it to be amazingly beautiful? Like, even World of Warcraft Vanilla looked way worse than classic World of Warcraft. We had less powerful computers, you know, 16-inch monitors, maybe. Maybe not even that for some people, like 12-inch. Everything had fuzzy edges. Like, Warhammer never had a chance to really get better looking because, well, the game stopped developing, right? I feel like the guys that run the private server would have a hard time making the character models and everything look better than what they are. Like, that would fall into, we need to get paid for this shit territory. I often wonder though, because they're adding new ways to make content and the editor's getting a lot better. I often wonder if maybe, you know, it's just practice for doing something down the line. If they could ever have the funds and means to actually make a Warhammer fantasy MMO, that'd be cool. I don't know if they actually would, but I would like one. Like the conversation we had yesterday, like Warhammer World is just a fun place to be. It's not a fun place to be if you're there, but like it's a fun place to explore. You don't want to be a part of it, but you don't mind playing it. I wouldn't want to live in the Warhammer Fantasy world. Man-sized rats everywhere? Ah, man. Man-sized rats that don't exist. Chest. Little chest for me. Good chance we should be able to see the Winterfell runners on the way back to Donovan. Someone comes and takes my Kroll blade, I'm gonna quit the game. You don't want that. You don't want someone being free. Well, I mean, it's a sword. Not exactly a Kroll blade, but it's a sword. God, I would just... If I ever do actually loot one of those... and it's during the hardcore medley, because it doesn't really matter outside of it, I would... I don't even know. It would just be so happy moment. I want to just ride down the road, see if we find the runners. I don't know what that mage was doing that we saw back there like 10 minutes ago, but he might have also been looking for runners. There's always a chance we just find one runner, you know? Like, sometimes I don't mind leaving one or two up. Like we did on the Boomkin, because we don't have the mana to fight 3 mobs. Unless we innovate, and I didn't want to. So it's like, well, we'll just leave those 2. Someone else can find them and kill them, perhaps. Like, it's helpful for everyone doing that quest when you don't kill 3 of them. But there are also times where you just gotta. You gotta give it the chance. Can't believe we haven't seen them. Unless that mage was going that way just to camp them. That could be a possibility. I remember we, there they are. This all free. Do something fun. I don't know if this will work, but... does. Right, our set fell off immediately. I don't think we bothered trying to kill the other two. I was like, maybe we could get all of them, but just not much damage. But we're not fully potted up. Fine. We did the quest. We did what we needed to. Now, like I said, we'll leave those two and someone can go and kill them because it's easier now. The set didn't last very long though. I think if that had lasted, we probably could have done at least 2 and then bandaged up for the 3rd one. But the heartbeat said no.
Watch your back. Off with you. Be good.
We'll leave High Chief Wonderful here for now. But that's good, we got through that quest chain basically. High Chief Wonderful, we will do it 58, like I said. He will be part of the Lena video. The Legend of Lena. Where she either hits level 60 or she fucking dies. We will see what happens. I'm sure if Lena dies at 58 or 59, hopefully it will be like a really fun video. Like it's going to be similar to Ugra, I think. We're just out killing mobs that we either have no business killing or they're extremely difficult. Elites, pawn captures queen, that sort of stuff. Just stuff that's difficult all day. It's gonna be a fun video no matter what. But I'm sure if I die, someone's gonna be like, why would you do this stuff at that level when you're almost done? Well, fun. Enjoyment. Fulfillment. Those. There's always been a lot of people who comment on my videos critiquing the way I play the video game. I've never cared one time. I'm gonna continue to play the video game how I play the video game. Having my camera zoomed in. All that good stuff. You know, playing classes how I play them rather than how everyone else plays them. They've all read guides about how to maximize everything. I never ask. That's what it really comes down to, right? When people comment, or they come into Twitch and tell you what to do or something like that. It's like, who asked? Because I certainly didn't. And yet there are people who make it their job to, you know, tell people what to do. But it happens in everything in society, I think. The only time I'm telling people what they should do is if they ask me specifically what they should do. And even then, like, it's not a guarantee, because maybe it's something that's easy for me but difficult for them. Like, not everyone's good at absolutely everything that other people are. Almost swallowed down the wrong hole. That's one thing I'm not good at all the time, is drinking water. Although I did have a lot of water that time, like it just kept coming. But I almost choked. My eyes were starting to be like, you need to stop, sir. We need 2 horns and 2 fur. And after that, we'll be done with Winter Spring for the moment. We are going to come back here in the future, obviously. Probably around 57, it depends. I don't know how that distract actually worked. I felt like it was, you know, going. Like I distracted, and was the distract even there? I guess it was. You know, on my first hardcore rogue, I didn't use slice and dice that much above level 50. And that's actually one thing that people keep bitching about on my later videos. Not that I didn't know slice and dice damage is ridiculous. Because, you know, you got poisons, all that. I just didn't want to deal with parry hasted mobs. I think on this character I don't really care. Because this character getting to 60 is good for the Medley, because then we're level 60, we can buy an epic mount. We're done with the end goal of the challenge, is to buy an epic mount. If we finish it on our first character in 60, you know, it's... Even though the leveling isn't done, the end goal will be. So we would have achieved that before we even get others to 60, which is funny. But it's also just like a victory lap on a rogue, isn't it? I've already done level 60 on a rogue before. So we're basically just having more fun on a rogue. Which I'm quite okay with, because I like rogue a lot. Man, at 1% really just It's like sometimes when you get a boss down to 1% that you're progging on, and it just that 1% just takes so long. That's how that mob felt. I remember fighting a mob in Final Fantasy XIV, and it was the first time we were going to kill it. And I was playing Dancer, and I didn't use like technical step, which is the 2-minute cooldown that does a fuck ton of damage. Because I thought the mob was going to die. And there was like 10 seconds where the mob just was not dying, and I was like, man, I could have done that. That would have been like a big 200k damage. But I didn't. And then another time where I thought the same, but I did do it. Then the mob died before I got it off. It's always funny like that. Stop ice blasting me so much. You're gonna put me on DR. I don't even know if mobs have DR. Don't think so though. Alright, we finally got a Yeti fur. Let's see if we can get a horn, and then we'll need one of each. The drops stopped dropping. Speaking of drops, gonna be Twitch drops in Warhammer Online again soon. It's cool. I'm probably not gonna sign up for them because I don't really care. But you know, I play with some other streamers and they're all excited about it. But it's something the crew have been talking about recently, is wanting Twitch drops. It's been, I think, nearly 7 months since the last one. I think there was one in December. 'Cause I remember before I started playing the game, Twitch drops were happening, so I was like, well, I have an account, so I might as well get the Twitch drops before I actually start playing. Starting with, you know, 50 or so gold, however much they give you. Maybe it was 20, I don't remember. But a bunch of other stuff was pretty nice. Too bad I don't really play that character now. I just log into it to save its name because it's my name. If I ever want to swap my warrior priest name with my disciple of Cain name, maybe. Maybe I think about that. Track that guy over there. No, don't. I love when I distract these beers. The chill ones are like, I'm gonna fly over there now. It's happened 3 times. It's such a distraction that the chill wind also wants to go and see it. Here. Big sword proc crit. Very nice. I'm gonna do it again. Not gonna give him time this time. How not to run from. Chillwinds look cool in blue as well. I feel like a lot of mobs here though, when you get the Phantom Strike on them, it turns them blue. They all look very cool. I guess because white going to blue does look pretty awesome. When a mob's like green or something, it looks terrible. Like when we're in Silphus later on, we're going to be fighting those green and yellow scorpions and they're going to look dumb. Damn, look at that. Ballerina. Why aren't the drops dropping? I didn't actually jump on and play Warhammer last night, but I think a lot of us didn't, so maybe tonight. Last night I just had things that I wanted to do other than play video game. Especially with another 2x crest event starting soon. Like, man, I'm gonna be playing a lot, so gotta get time off. It's so funny that yesterday I literally was having a conversation about a 2x crest event. And then they announced that they're gonna do one. Like, that's pretty awesome. Shake and bake. Actually got a... They both... Yeah, they're both shaman. Shake and bake. The orc shaman. The plural of shaman is shaman. Not shaman. Shaman. Shamans. No, that sounds dumb. I used to call them shaman just for fun, to be fair. These drops have just seriously stopped happening. 60,000 away, we're going to be less than 50,000 after these quests. I would say, like, the starter quest in Silphus should definitely get us to 56. So we should be able to take care of that today, honestly. Pretty good, because we weren't that far into 55 when we started. I think like 4 bars. We've only been this level for 3 hours. It's just that yesterday I didn't feel like I did anything. Like, I know we got a level, but man, it just took so long to get anything going because of all the level 60s that were doing things where I was. Like, I had to come back to those satyrs 3 times before I actually got any kills. It was terrible. Please give me Yeti fur, Mr. Yeti. Don't pull the beer. Go. Yeah. We'll check the chest while we're down here, obviously. Duh. Man. Just become super unlucky there. Like, the Yeti furs are definitely easier to get than the Chillwind horns, and yet somehow we've killed about 10 Yetis without fur dropping. I'm pretty sure we had 8 Yeti fur when we had 2 Chillwind horns, so I don't know what happened. They just stopped existing. These furless Yetis. Maybe it's like summer and they've you know, molted their fur. Winter here, so I don't believe it. I guess it's summer on the other side of the world though. Crazy. We're gonna have to continue down the path. Yeah. But yeah, if we get these done relatively soon, I would say like we go to Silithus, we probably hit 56 within an hour. That's not too bad. Considering when I started, I was like, 56 might be doable, but really depends on how I feel. But it would be good to get done. Tomorrow's going to be interesting because I have to go out at like 3 PM, which means I can't stream until I usually do. I literally have to go outside. I'd like to think I'm streaming tomorrow, but might be a shorter one. So I don't think 57 will be happening this week no matter what. But if we could get like halfway through 56, that'd be pretty cool. I'd say at 57 I want to take care of the Badlands quest that I need to do. Damn. Drop is just gone. Because I'd like Lena to be able to make whatever the poison cleansing thing is. Don't remember the name of it completely. Purification potion, perhaps? Not sure. Gonna use those against Death Clasp, so we don't need to worry about his stun. Maybe also nature protection potions for him. Just in case we get like poison tick in between. What the fuck? How is there no Yeti fur? Doesn't make sense. Now, if we want to be fighting here, we'll probably aggro that guy. Don't really want to aggro one of those, they're gross. But we will make poisons before we go down Silphus. Nice, finally. Oh, shit, that was like 20 Yetis to get 2 fur. 33% my ass. No real point in going down there. Alright, back to town. Not too bad though, 2 hours of just pure questing down today. And a good stretch. I don't know. We should be able to make more elixirs of giants. Got more mongers, but we can probably also make plenty. So I guess we'll use one in Silphus. We are eventually going to have to farm for more strong Trolls Bloods. Not that surprising. But our bags are also in a shambles. And maybe a few healing potions wouldn't be amiss as well. So much to do, it made me yawn. It's like, oh god, there's a whole freaking shopping list. Speaking of, I haven't been shopping this week. Probably tomorrow. Since I'm already going out. Do everything at once.
Talk to me. Keep it real. Glad I could help.
Yeah, I guess we can hand that in as well.
Hurry back.
We will probably go to the burning steps, so that'll be a good hand in actually, because there is 2 quests that I didn't do there.
Keep it real.
But real. Where do I have these?
Yo.
I have these, that's what I do. Do I want to spend another? Kind of. Might as well. just so I can hold these freaking quest items that I'm not going to be handing in for quite some time. There's really no point in just carrying them around. Because we're going to have them in our inventory for quite some time. And 10 gold isn't going to destroy our chance of buying an epic mount. Let's check these maces. This 48 to 90. There's much higher DPS. I think it would be a better offhand. Now, the main hand mace that we would be using is kind of a better weapon than Phantom Blade. And the offhand mace is a better weapon than our current offhand, so mace spec is looking kind of nice, not gonna lie. The only problem with mace spec is you lose sword spec, where sword spec does damage, mace spec just stuns. But mace spec does give you 5 extra mace skill as well, and we are a human, so we already get that. So it's 10 extra mace skill. But I guess you do lose weapon expertise. That was an interesting thing. If we find a mace that's like plus 20 damage top end on our Phantom Blade, I might think about swapping. But right now it is looking like it's very close. I think sword spec would come out ahead though, just by the nature of getting an extra attack.
Keep it real.
We have already run mace spec a little bit on this character though, so been fun.
Hurry back.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Darnassus. While I'm going to Darnassus, I'm gonna go get something out of the fridge or the freezer really quick. Put it in the fridge. But I did forget to get my dinner out earlier.
Hello.
So I'll be right back. Probably take a piss while I'm doing this 5-minute flight.
Del Nod.
Thought that Tauren was going to try get on the Alliance mount. Alright. Land in Darnassus, make poisons, make potions. All that good stuff. Oh. Man needs to sleep more. We are less than 50k from leveling as well, which is great. Ugh. So I'd say depending on the RNG, which is generally pretty bad for desert, deadly desert venom and securing the supply lines, that should probably get us there. We can also go hand in this quest. But I probably won't do the quest afterwards just yet anyway. Our main goal was Silphus. Wanted. Death Clasp. Terror of the Sands. Level 58 elite, 59 elite quest. The quest that killed Ugro the Orc Shaman back in the year of 2024, I think. Yeah, but let me just double check that it was 2020. Playlist. Ugro. The final episode of his was April 3rd, 2024. That's what I thought. Video had 1,500 views. That's pretty good. I think if my, channel was bigger on YouTube, maybe even Twitch, then that video would have popped off crazy style, because I think it was the most fun video I've ever made. So fun that my voice wanted to stop working for a moment there. Like, playing hardcore but not really caring if you die is so freeing. Like, it just felt so good. Two giants.
Peace be with you.
Do we have mongoose, right? Or did we not make any extras? Guess not. We need one of those. Actually, we might as well make two of them because we're going to be using one anyway. What else? Giants. So I guess we'll make 3 of them. Is our troll's blood? Do I have? I do. I have, therefore I can. We actually got more Briarthorn up there. Where'd that come from? Hello, Briarthorn. I did not see you.
Good luck.
make some poisons as well. Should have bought some food in Winter Spring, but I forgot. I should be able to buy quail in Silifus, though, as far as I remember.
I am honored.
Okay, we need 16 of these. I don't know how much dust of deterioration it is, but it's probably a few more. Like quick math, it's around between 40 to 60. Need 3, 8. Much easier to figure out how many you need of something when it's a lower number. 16 divided by 3 doesn't work very well. At all, actually.
Goddess watch over you.
2 mongoose.
How may I help?
More crystal vials. Three of those and 1 troll's blood. And that should be enough potions.
Be careful.
Be careful. I think we had 1 extra Wonderful Firewater in the bank. I don't know if it's really worth using though. Might save it. Rocket. I'm gonna send... not Lena. That's the character we're playing. I'm gonna send 31 gold to Alia to safekeeping. Alia has about 600 gold from Lena right now. She's probably sitting on about 700 gold alone. Just that one character, so... yeah, we're looking pretty good for our epic mount when we get there. It's crazy because... you just make so much money just leveling to 60. Like, we have not been able to use the auction house, obviously, because that is, like, against our rules, but we've already made so much money without even thinking about it.
Farewell.
Down to Silifus. 12-minute flight. Fun. Like with Ugro and Franca, we made about 150 or so gold just leveling to 60, and I thought, if I get enough of these characters to 60, we're gonna have an epic mount immediately. We're gonna get 1 to 60 and have an epic mount. Because Alia has 700. I think Friend was sending money to Lena, so Friend won't have too much. Rugen, probably the same. Rocket, I don't know if we were, but maybe. But Baumer hasn't, so Baumer's probably sitting on 50 plus gold. Francie has 80. So that's at least 830. And we've got 5 more levels to do on this character, which is probably going to give us like another 50 or so. And then we'll just have little scraps on the other characters. So we're at 900 gold basically when this character hits 60. Even if we use all of the money we have on the characters, we will get an epic mount. As long as we make it there. Obviously we could still die. We are playing Rogue, which has the most tools to not die, but I wouldn't say it's the strongest character in hardcore. It's definitely the easiest to get to 60, I would say. That's why there's so many more rogues than there are other. But after playing all of the other characters, I would say it's like mid-tier in terms of power. Fire Mage is much stronger. Shadow Priest, I think, does more DPS. Our Boom can generally, like mob to mob, does more damage than the Rogue. It just doesn't have the mana to like have staying power. It would be cool to see this without like the time played on each character. It would be cool to see without the time that we spent farming, just to get a good representation, because you know, like the priest hasn't really farmed anything, so it's really fast, but then the rogue spent maybe a day played just farming shit for other characters or farming herbs, stuff like that. The rogue, hunter and the mage look very slow even though they're very fast, because they've spent time doing stuff that I don't want to do on the boomkin or the priest. That's pretty interesting, but I wish I could like eliminate time that I've spent farming just. But I do like this add-on. The random 6-day played 55 warrior that we have in there that's not even part of the medley. That hasn't been played in, what, 4 months? Yeah. Like, I can even dethrone myself because I am inactive. I told my friend as well, because I took Guildmaster from him because he was inactive. This guy. He went inactive, and then because he hasn't actually played in 7 months now, like this guy. I told him I took the guild. You can have it back in 3 months. It's now been a month past that, and he hasn't taken it back yet, so he obviously doesn't care that much. And I wish I could jump off this and get that bruise weed real quick. But everyone in this guild is friends, so there's only one guy I wouldn't want to have Guildmaster in the guild, and that's just because he does some random shit sometimes just to piss us off. Like, he's that friend who has to be the class clown, you know? He can't help himself. Like, if he took Guildmaster, he'd probably kick at least some of my characters out just because they're my characters. like the shadow. It's one thing World of Warcraft has always done well is shadows. Whenever you see like the shadow of someone's flying mount go over you, you're like, oh shit. I think back in the day when you ran low graphics, they were just like a circle around the character, right? But you had to run low graphics to have shadows that were dog shit, even back in the day. Most of the time you did because you already had 2 FPS on your computer while in a raid anyway, so you were running low shadows. But I think if you've had a good computer, you've always had the option of having shadows that were pretty good in this game. I don't even think I'm running like ultra graphics these days, because I'm just so used to running dog shit. Yeah, I'm just like good. Like there's ultra high shadows even that I'm not even close to running. This gives me a more classic vanilla feel, right? Running half, just half good things. This game could look way better than what I run it at, but because I'm streaming and everything, and I don't want to have random FPS drops, I like just keeping it at a steady 60 for the stream. But like, it looks good to me. Even though I'm not even close to maxing out the graphics. And for a game that has graphical updates, but came out in 2004, pretty nice. Like, there's a lot of people who absolutely hate how bad classic WoW looks compared to retail, but I don't think it is true at all. I think they both look pretty much the same when you max it out. The fidelity is still there. Obviously the character models and gear is different. In retail is generally higher quality, like polygon count and all that. But I think the overall environment is basically the same. Wave Strider. Still crazy that those mobs are still green to us. Like, we did those quests so long ago at this point. Looks like Tommy and the fellas are going to be playing some Warhammer tonight, so that's cool. I think I'll probably finish Silphus, get to 56, and then jump on there, so hopefully we're done within like an hour. They usually start around 3 PM my time, and, you know, 1:40 right now. One day I'll stream WoW in the morning and then I'll stream Warhammer in the afternoon. Like, things will line up perfectly. But generally there's like something I've got to do in the afternoon, even if I'm playing Warhammer, so I can't continue stream because it's just awkward. Like, I can play Warhammer while doing things. It's pretty chill like that. Silphus. Nothing good ever came out of Silphus. Dragon. That's part of that shadow. You look down, you see a dragon shadow, you look up. Because you know he's there. That's the cool part. The worst part of Silithus right now is we're going to be poisoned half the time we're fighting. I think the cool thing is because we're looking to do Death Clasp at some point, we're going to be able to do the quest that actually gives us 2 mongoose elixirs for free. You know, as long as we do actually... Apparently I missed the quest.
Have a good one.
Probably only worth like 500 experience anyway. Probably also in Ironforge. Maybe I can't see it on the map anymore because I accepted this one, but yeah. It don't matter. Alright. Silithus questing on the rogue. Always very exciting. By exciting I mean I hate it because I'm poisoned. A lot of scorpions out today. I think that happened last time too. We were done with scorpions before we even got one spider thing. It's our first poison. Wouldn't you know, it stinks. How exciting. At least we can time these ones. That guy almost gave me a jump scare. We were almost lucky there. I almost didn't get re-poisoned, but did. Right at the end. Almost make it through the fight, but then we get parried right at the end. It's like, well, it looks like we're being poisoned again. But at least there's actual spiders to be fighting today. Not just Upsal scorpions. Which I'm pretty sure it was on the boomkin. Slice. Hoping he wouldn't keep walking away, but that's alright. Slicing and dicing and... What's something that rhymes? I don't even know. You know, I talked about arena yesterday for like 1 minute, and I had a dream that I did arena. I don't know why. Because, like I said, I haven't arenaed since, I think, Battle for Azeroth. Which is probably like 10 years at this point. But it's kind of funny because the dream did make sense in a way. And it felt pretty real. I was telling someone not to dive so hard. Which is probably actually a conversation I had with this person in an arena setting, actually. Guy over here. But I guess I talked about arena enough yesterday to have a dream about it, which is interesting. I don't think I did that much. Probably just when we were talking about Warhammer and then the PvP came up and that was it. That was enough. $40,000. With how this quest usually goes for the drops, I think 40,000 experience is doable with just these two. But I guess we'll find out when we're done. Because I mean, it's 12,000 just to hand in, right? More or less. That's the slightest dicing. Annihilate the spider. But yeah, Questing and Silithus on the rogue is always quite annoying just because you're poisoned the whole time. Never fun, especially when you get a 3 second or 3 second tick instead of a 5 second. That is the anti-fun. And I don't have a Kroll Blade yet, so... that certainly doesn't help. I think... yeah, we don't lose any stats. That's the thing, we have Phantom Blade, it doesn't give us stats, it just gives us proc. So we'd be over 19% crit with a Kroll Blade, that would be sick. I think at this point in Franca's journey, she probably had like 20% crit with a Mongoose. We had so much agility on that character. Like, I have a lot on this character, but I think because of dungeon loot. We were just rolling. The Medley not having dungeon loot is definitely, like, it's not a bad thing completely. Just a way of having it balanced. Otherwise we wouldn't have... oh, that's actually a good tick. We got a good server tick there. Because the damage went off as I stealth. If we had dungeon gear while also making gear, I think we'd be a bit too overpowered. But also no world buffs. Definitely limits our power quite a bit. But it will make High Chief Winterfall more fun. In Death Class. To be fair, my fault with world buffs was I get to level 40 without them and then I don't really care after that, but the more I played through, the more I was like, I really don't want to stand around in Booty Bay for half an hour. So it's just sort of a personal vendetta against world buffs now rather than a rule. They are and probably always will be the worst part of Classic WoW. People are far too reliant upon them. Especially when it comes to leveling in hardcore. I know people that literally do not play without world buffs. Come, charge. Didn't have good line of sight on it. But also, if we don't find a good axe for our warrior, we're pretty likely to hit level 60 with frickin' whirlwind axe. And doing that without world buffs is kinda cool. We don't have engineering, we have a whirlwind axe, and we don't have world buffs. Like, there are so many people that don't think warriors can hit level 60 without engineering. They're noobs. So to not have world buffs on top of that and have whirlwind axe the whole freaking way basically. Like we got it at level 36. We're not going to solo the trolls at level 30, that would have been impossible. I could solo Cyclonian at level 30, just doing the trolls, basically impossible. That's why I got it 36. The funny thing about Cyclonian, he's actually easier than the rest of the quest. For one tick. Oh. Right as I pressed stealth, he was like, nope. I got a bit too close, a bit greedy. Cat father has reached level 60. I wonder how many cats he has. Kind of the life though. I would be dog father because I don't really like cats. And dogs are just like the best thing that could have happened to humanity. I do plan on getting another dog at some point in the future. I'm not sure when. Probably not during school. Then I guess work is worse. You just don't get to enjoy having an animal companion as much as you were able to when you're young. Kind of sad. Unless you're retired. Maybe I just wait. Wait until retirement. Hang out with my dog all day. That could be the dream right there. Actually, a few of the guys that I play Warhammer Online with that are retired. One of them's quite young. Has money. It's interesting. I don't think people could retire in today's day. Shit's too expensive. Imagine being able to retire. Like, that's crazy. But there are some times where I consider myself retired just because I'm lazy or don't want to work. But maybe it's that. Not that they're retired. It's that they're retired. While working for myself, I considered myself semi-retired because sometimes I would wake up and be like, not today. There will be no meetings today, thank you. But it will be quite interesting going forward with career change and everything. Oh, we're rinsing through these quails. Just because of the poison. I didn't buy any because I forgot. They're pretty easy to get. We can buy them down here, but I didn't. Knew he'd see me. Not fast enough, shitlord. Shitlord isn't really a thing that people say these days, is it? Probably one of the most inoffensive things you can say to someone, though, when trying to, you know, call them a name. Because everyone shits. You're just a lord of it. Poison tick is weird because it's not at a 5 number. Even though I dodged, it brought me out of stealth. $2 o'clock. We need to finish this quest before 3 so we can play Warhammer. It's generally when Tommy's raid stops. Or ends. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some quail because I got 3 stacks of poison anyway. It's either that or eat another quail. So if we can finish these quests before 3, which we should be able to, unless the drops are extremely terrible, we should be able to level as well. It will be a pretty good day of warcrafting. Barra Hunt.
Elun Adore.
Nadore. Elena. Daldib.
Farewell.
I always like Night Elf words. I guess Blood Elf words as well. They both say elf things. It's just gibberish, but like, it sounds nice. It's like, I was watching Marco Meatball, he's like a opera singer. He was showing some people that don't really play video game music, and one of them was showing the Wrath of the Lich King cinematic, right? And they asked, what's that language? It's just like, it doesn't exist. But it sounds nice. World of Warcraft uses a lot of gibberish, and it sounds good. There was one that he showed, Be My Honey from Honeybee Lovely in Final Fantasy XIV. And she was confused. She was like, so who is this game marketed to? Because the music suggests that it's marketed to frickin', you know, teenage girls. So he had to show a few other songs to her just to be like, okay, the game's not marketed to teenage girls. Because honestly, if the first song I heard from Final Fantasy XIV was Be My Honey, I would also think it's some friggin' teenage girl video game. But if you're someone that has played Final Fantasy XIV, then the song is just so out there and crazy that you kind of like it because it doesn't match a lot of the game's aesthetic. I'm not saying that Final Fantasy XIV can't be played by 14-year-old girls, though. But, like, just for that one song? I think if I had children and they wanted to play an MMO, Final Fantasy XIV would be like the best one for them. There are weirdos over there, but in terms of scope of what you get out of a game, when it comes to like culture and just teaching people things, that would be a crazy first video game to play, I'm gonna be honest. Because WoW is very... I think a diluted is a good word for it when it comes to like culture and everything. Watered down. You know, it won't just teach you the meaning of life the same way. WoW's thoughts on reality is very limited as well compared to 14's when like you've seen the frickin' bird child to the stars to learn about life in the universe, and she's like, you know what? It kind of sucks in the universe. I'm gonna just go and blow everything up. Like that sort of thing is crazy to think about. If you're learning about that when you were young, your view on life might be completely different. Hate to playing WoW, where it's like things bad, but you don't know why. But what would I know? I don't have children and I'm not really playing on it, so. Right now, no one will be playing anything. I will just be playing video games myself. I need to re-poison my weapon. Completely did not even notice that it just ran out. The offhand's getting pretty down there too. 31 charges left. We have 100 charges on our weapons. Our poisons, rather. They're pretty long life these days. 23k. I think after the hardcore medley and after we're wrapping up streaming a bit more, because, you know, we're going to be streaming less when we're going to school and stuff like that, if ever we're streaming, but I'm probably going to like remove the Discord link and probably remove most of the people from my Discord that I don't know. There are people that I know that come in through stream, that's fine, but there are people that just join and I'm never even seen this person interact. So if you're one of those people, interact so I know. Obviously my friends and all that, they can stay. So we can talk about Formula 1. Because that's pretty much all we talk about on Discord. There's a little bit of video game here and there, but it's mostly... Generally, if friends have to talk to me, they will talk to me through DMs or we will jump into chat together. I'm always someone who enjoys talking to someone like in a voice chat. My preferred is face-to-face, but obviously you're not going to have that with a lot of people on the internet. and then voice chat afterwards, and then text like the last, right? So when I catch up with people in real life, like say we have something to discuss, it's never something that I like doing over text. I would prefer to just wait. Actually have a real conversation with them the next time I see them, stuff like that. It's interesting because I've always been, well, growing up, more shy. But when it comes to like interacting with people, I would rather interact with them through voice or face to face than a fucking text message or something. Discord DM, you know. Kind of strange. But I guess I'm a lot more confident than I once was back in the day. Like, I got asked once if they would, like, for an appointment, if they would prefer me meeting them face to face or, you know, talking over the phone. And even if it's just something I gotta go into town and talk to someone for like 10 minutes, I would prefer to do it face to face, even though I literally need to leave the house and it's more effort. I hate talking on the phone, I'm gonna be honest. Just something about it where I'm like, rather talk to your face. Say it to my face. But I don't think I was always that way, so I think World of Warcraft probably did that. In some strange way, because I, you know, even though I was like shy in school, when I was playing WoW and I was talking to friends and raid on Discord, not Discord, Ventrilo, back then. And then I would go to school and I'd like only talk to my close friends. It's so strange to think about. I guess because I knew that I had something in common with the people that I was talking to online, right? Like, we're all playing World of Warcraft, we're all nerds just hanging out, getting gear for our characters, killing bosses. Like, it's easier to talk to people that you have something in common with than someone that you don't know completely. And even though you don't know these people that you meet online until you get to know them, you already have a base starting point. It's always a fun thing to think about. Now, we do have something in common with literally everyone on the planet, though. We are all human. But talking about being a human isn't exactly like a normal thing to do. So it's something people overthink. We're all human, and if we meet someone in real life, we are at that same point in the world as they are. That's two things in common right there. It's simple when you think about it like that. We're only human after all. I wish I could do the damage that I did to the last spider on every single mob. That was crazy. Crits after crits. Very nice. Spider drops are giving us grief, but we're kind of used to it. 15k away, we will definitely level when we finish the quest. Even if we got 100% drop rates from here, we would level. Be interesting to see if we're still rested away to 57. Might be close. But by the time we get there, because it'll be a weekend, we will definitely be. I think there's a good chance we do run out of rested at some point on Lena, but also a pretty good chance that it gets us pretty close to 60. Spider bank D. We'll give it to him after this. We eat once again. Silphus on the rogue is definitely the part where you use the most food, I would say. Because you're poisoned 24/7. It's quite awful. One more poison tick. I like when we come out of stealth and we turn grey because of our fake self-found buff, as people like to call it. Not even a fake self-found buff, it's just a cool buff. I remember that one warrior that ran past me and he's laughing at me. He's like, haha, fake self-found buff. It's like, mate, I'm probably doing a harder challenge than you are while playing your self-found character. Like, just because you're playing self-found doesn't make you better than other people, man. I'm pretty sure he had world buffs on him as well at that point, so it was even funnier. Evade these nuts. No, evade these just hit level 60. But the first thing I read it and then I was like, I had to say nuts. Evade these nuts. He is who he is. If he wasn't, then why would he say he is? You can tell I listened to some Eminem music recently. Like last week. But it's been coming up a little bit. It had just been a long time since I had listened to Eminem, you know? And I wanted to see what some Gen Z people thought about Eminem, because growing up as a millennial, we all know that Eminem was one of the GOATs. But there's a lot of youngsters that probably never heard his music. So it's fun to see what they think about it. Most of them think it's absolute fire. This guy with his fiery weapon, Kroll Blade, and his Crusade, freaking probably Vanquisher. Not Vanquisher, because you don't get Vanquisher. Whatever the Horde version is. Got a... Maybe he's got the sword from Temple, actually. Did go into stealth and come out of stealth, though. It's like... Oh yeah, it is the sword from Sunken Temple. It doesn't have a Kroll Blade, it just looked like one. It's pretty cool, you don't see that sword all the time. I like it. I like it quite some lots. So I haven't run Sunken Temple in hardcore yet, personally, because that's where the non-Medley character's next job was. Sunken Temple, we were going to do it. And now we haven't played in 7 months. So, yeah, it just hasn't happened. I'm glad I got to do like Gnomeregan and everything though while leveling with my friends. Like, it was fun. It's always fun when you're leveling in a group. That's why I wanted to do the same in Warhammer Online, but then a WoW expansion came out. Like, all we have to do in that game as a group is make it to level 16, basically. We do 2 dungeons together before then. One at 16, one at, like, 10-ish. And then we can just level. However we want. Probably in RVR, because generally the best way. Especially right now, because scenario's hardly popped. Get lots of renown, get lots of experience playing the game, and get together when new dungeons happen. But I think I will just leave it until the dungeon that they're releasing for, you know, level mid-20s. Sometime soon, they're going to be releasing a new one. And then maybe I'll be like, alright guys, a new dungeon just came out, is it time to try again? But also the thing is, when I first had that idea to play with friends, I didn't know how bad RVR was. Like what kind of state it was in. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just very zergy. It's all... You can't have like a 6-man team that can roam around without really good gear. And I thought, you know, if we start as a 5 or 6 man, which we basically were, we can eventually have some fun and kill people, but I think it would be very difficult with the way the game is played right now. That's probably a good thing my friends didn't. Because we would have got shit on. I have lowest health after this mob, especially if we get poisoned, but alright, be good enough. Like, I don't mind playing by myself because I have found another group to play with, right? It's probably the first group of friends that I've made in a video game in a long time. Because I'm like, I need to have people that are playing, otherwise this game isn't going to be fun. Like, I like playing with them, they like playing with me, apparently. So that's cool. It works out perfectly. But I mean, outside of my retail WoW guild and the friends I've got there, I haven't really, like, put in the effort much to make friends in video games in more recent years. Like, generally, if I start playing an MMO, I am pretty fine to just play it solo. Or as solo as I could. Obviously, I had raid groups in Final Fantasy XIV, but there was only, like, my very first raid group in that game where I felt like I got super close to them. That's why some of them still come in here. I haven't seen any other raid group people come in here and say hi. But we are winding down on the streaming, so okay. Right now I have 0 subs, and I'm okay with it, because I don't actually want any. Like, sometimes I literally tell my friends to stop subbing. This is about one of those times, because I don't think I'll begin another Twitch payout unless something dramatic happens, like, you know, gives 100 subs or something. I think it's one of the first times I've been streaming and I've literally had 0 as a subscriber count. And it's okay. Because I'm basically done with it anyway. But enough about streaming. We're about to hit level 56. 30 minutes to spare. Pretty cool.
How may I aid you? Winds be at your back.
We'll leave these quests for when we come back. maxdps.gov. Is that like the unemployed DPS website? Alright, level 56. 3 agility points for that, that's pretty sick. Yeah, we're not fully rested all the way there. With lethality. Now I'm gonna hurf. We'll go to Ironforge and train. Should I just go to Stormwind? I'm gonna be going to Burning Steps when I log in next. Finish up the quests we have there. Ironforge. Because we got Tablet of 7, Smouldering, Return to Tinky, which gives us 3,000 experience. We could probably do Gortish. 50 Yip is probably not going to happen right now because it's boring. I mean, we could. And then it's likely back to the Plague Lands. There's not really much else. I do want to grab these quests before we go to EPL.
Need help?
Go to Ironforge.
Have a good one.
A good one. But it's been a good day of leveling though. Like, I didn't know if I'd be fully committed to actually hitting 56 today. But it seems like I wanted to get it done. And I should probably stream tomorrow, but it's not a guarantee. Like I said, I got a meeting in the afternoon, so it's not going to be like a super long stream if it happens. Probably 3 hours max. But we'll see. We can get some prog in at least. Completely free linen bags and low level cloth gear in Karanos. Open trade. It's nice. Currently level 21 as well. Already doing more than the billionaires of the world. Yay, happy fun. As long as you're having happy fun, that's all that matters. Don't know why I came this way. I'm gonna use the vendor, but like we were gonna go to the vendor anyway, but I guess repairing is not. We are gonna be out of those soon. Maybe I should make some spider sausage.
What can I do for you? Watch your
I
back.
can make 7 of them. I've only got 1 more clam. Spider sausage is worse, is it? No, it's the same. Cool. We got the 20 clams for free from the quest, right? But I haven't really worried about food since. But I guess having the spider sausage will be helpful for like Death Clasp and stuff like that.
Be good.
Connect rocket. Go and train our eviscerate upgrade. Level 8 evis. $58 we get a new sprint, and that's pretty much it. 60 we get a new instant poison stealth, so there's not really that much more that the rogue gets. We only need to spend like 20 more gold on training. That's pretty cool. Make some poisons while we're here. Don't know what people are bitching about. Like, I arrived in Ironforge, no one said anything for over a minute. And then some guy said, "We heard you the first time."
Off and away.
Interesting.
Hi.
I didn't hear anything the first time.
Safe travels.
This is all we need there. 2 bandages. And then we're done. Thank you for joining me today. Like I said, if I'm here tomorrow, I'll be here. If not, well, it's because of some reason, but obviously we know there's a meeting in the afternoon, so if I am here, it'll only be for like 3 hours or less. Don't want to rush myself. Yeah, I'll log out here, and Burning Steps will be the next place we go. 56, 4 to go. 2 until we make amazing video content. Yeah, have a good night or day depending on where you are in the world, everybody. Probably just go dick around for a little bit and then play some Warhammer with the boys. And I'll see you guys when I see you. It'll either be tomorrow or next week. But I think next week we should be able to just blast. So, see yous.